After over a year of vague admissions and rampant speculation, Valve's grand vision for its new gaming platform, SteamOS, is coming into focus. For the first time, the company is sharing details about its hardware partners and the Steam machines they're producing to take over your living room. Alienware plans to bring its Steam machine to market in the latter half of 2014 and share more details in the near future.
It's almost eerie how similar things sounded in 2014 to everything that the rumors are pointed towards today. Valve is going to be opening their Linux-based SteamOS 3 to be used by hardware manufacturers to produce a new wave of Steam machine game consoles. They tried this 10 years ago. So let's rewind to 2014. Valve introduced the world to Steam machines, gaming PCs running SteamOS that would bring the power and versatility of PC gaming to your living room. It sounded great on paper, but in practice, things didn't go very well for them. Despite a strong announcement and a solid amount of consumer excitement, the idea fizzled and died. There's no one thing you can point the finger at. There are a whole series of missteps by Valve and their partners, but it looks like we're at another crossroads today. After the success of the Steam Deck, the biggest thing that I want to see is Valve leading the hardware charge themselves. It's hard to imagine them getting a third chance at this, so let's dissect what went wrong with the original Steam machines, what leaks suggest Valve's current plans are, and what they need to do to make sure they succeed. Welcome to Zesty is Tech, by the way. This video is more for your ears than your eyes, so feel free to throw me into another tab right after you hit subscribe. So what went wrong 10 years ago? First, there was a major library issue. SteamOS was built on Linux, which was, and still is, a solid operating system, but back in 2015, the Linux gaming library was lacking. Major AAA games didn't run on Linux at all, and gamers were stuck with a limited selection of compatible games. On top of that, the games that did work on SteamOS often didn't perform as well as their Windows counterparts. Valve developed Proton so that games could be automatically translated over into Linux. At the time, they didn't have that, which meant the only games available on Linux were the ones the developers specifically took the time to port over to a very small audience. I think Valve was probably hoping that their Steam Machine project would change that, but they never really got the ball rolling. Then there was the hardware situation. Instead of making their own Steam Machine, Valve handed the reins over to third-party manufacturers. Most notably, Alienware, but there were a bunch of these. We got an avalanche of systems with wildly varying specs and price points. Some were decent, but others were not worth it compared to similarly priced PCs or consoles. Valve's hands-off approach meant the brand was fragmented, and no single machine could represent what a Steam machine was supposed to be.
If you listen to Valve co-founder Gabe Newell, his company's recent successes are thanks to one thing: the openness of the PC. So when proposing a new breed of living room-friendly gaming PCs, so-called Steam machines, it should come as no surprise that they're embracing that same openness as a guiding philosophy for the project.
And don't get me wrong, I agree that the openness of the PC is one of its greatest strengths, and it would be a bad idea to abandon what got Valve to its position in the first place. But without a flagship to lead the way, this was confusing for console gamers and underwhelming for existing PC users. Probably the most embarrassing part of their failure, Valve's software and controller were just not ready in time.
Valve isn't quite ready to launch the Steam machines onto the market just yet, but that hasn't stopped companies such as Alienware from releasing their own hardware.
Their biggest hardware partner, Alienware, ended up releasing what should have been a Steam machine as a Windows device because SteamOS wasn't ready in time. This was the closest thing that Valve had to a flagship. It was certainly the most high profile of all the Steam machines, and it was running Windows. There was no Steam controller available for it.
So being a Steam machine really only has two requirements. It has to ship with the Linux-based SteamOS, and it has to use Valve's still-in-development Steam controller.
I cannot emphasize enough, if there was a news story about Steam machines, it showed this thing. The face of Steam machines wasn't one. If they wanted to launch the system ahead of the holidays, they should have collaborated with Valve to make sure that could happen. Instead, they went off and developed their own interface within Windows to accomplish the same thing that Valve was trying to do with the entirety of the Steam Machine project. They just put it onto Windows, and it did the job.
And they ship with a Windows 8.1 Home Premium and a custom user interface developed by Alienware.
If Alienware already brought PC gaming to the couch, what's the point of SteamOS at all? When the Steam Machine version launched, it's hard to see it as anything but a downgrade considering it can play fewer games. Fast forward to today, and Valve has completely turned the narrative around with the Steam Deck. It's a handheld gaming PC that runs on SteamOS 3, and it's been a huge success. Why? Because Valve finally got the basics right. The biggest game changer here is Proton. That's Valve's compatibility layer that lets you run Windows games on Linux. With Proton, the Steam Deck offers access to a massive library of games because with the original Steam machines, every game had to be manually ported, but now Steam takes care of that on the back end. If Valve had Proton back in 2015, I think things would have gone very differently. The Steam Deck is also a perfect example of why Valve needs to release its own first-party hardware. By controlling both the hardware and the software, Valve ensures a seamless experience. So what do they actually have cooking? Recent leaks have pointed to Valve working on new hardware, most likely a console-style gaming device called Fremont. Here's what we know so far. Fremont has popped up in the Steam Deck kernel updates, and it seems to describe a device with an HDMI port directly connected to its GPU. That's a big hint that this is a living room-focused console rather than another handheld. Not only that, but Valve is working on all kinds of first-party hardware right now, including new Steam controllers that would go very nicely with a home console.
I think it's a critical component because without the Steam controller, we wouldn't be able to say to customers of Steam machines like Alienware's that they can play the entire Steam catalog from the sofa without lugging in a mouse and keyboard into that room if they don't want to.
In 2015, their philosophy was that you could not make Steam machines work without the controller. Good to see the controller coming back. With a touchscreen, 2 touchpads, and traditional controls, the Steam Deck is a jack of all trades. Having a controller that accomplishes the same goal to pair with a first-party console? That sounds like a recipe for success. Third parties could choose whether or not they want to include the Steam controller. The point is that the first-party option is there. At the same time as this, Valve is also collaborating with Lenovo on a SteamOS-powered handheld called the Legion Go S. This is fully a Lenovo device, but they're working with Valve and they're showing their commitment to expanding SteamOS beyond their own hardware. By all accounts, it makes it look like they're helping Lenovo compete with their own Steam Deck. They're putting choices back into the hands of third-party hardware manufacturers, which didn't go so well the first time, but they seem to be working more closely together this time. They clearly don't see them as any kind of threat, even though they're technically competing in the hardware market. What's important is that they polished the Steam Deck before branching out. It's okay that the ROG Ally launched with Windows. It would have been ideal if Valve had already made SteamOS 3 publicly available, but it's not the same disaster that the Alienware launch was. I think Valve is set up for success. I think they can finally realize their vision as long as they don't make any stupid mistakes. A first-party console from Valve would set the standard for performance, design, and usability. It would act as a benchmark for other manufacturers to follow. I think the best analogy is Google's Pixel line of phones. Samsung can still make their own products and even upstage them at times. But you have the option to still buy integrated hardware and software if you want the standardized Android experience. Android didn't need the Pixel in order to succeed, but I would argue that the Pixel is generally more appealing to people like iPhone users who are used to that sort of experience. I really want Valve to succeed. Usually, I would say it's pointless to be a cheerleader for a massive company that doesn't care about you. But having SteamOS and Linux crack Microsoft's monopoly over the PC market would be a huge benefit to consumers. It would mean more competition in both the PC and console spaces. SteamOS is a gateway to Linux. Linux is an open source platform that gives freedom back to users. I'm optimistic. Valve has momentum on their side. The Steam Deck has proven there's a market for gaming PCs that don't look like traditional gaming PCs. By releasing a console, Valve could offer a complementary experience. Something more powerful for your living room that pairs perfectly with your Steam Deck. I believe Steam machines can still succeed even if Project Fremont doesn't amount to anything, and Valve doesn't do a first-party option after all. You can always dock your deck. I just don't want to see Valve get complacent. I don't want to see them late to their own party. Again. Valve is at a crossroads. They've learned from their mistakes, they've proven they can make great hardware, and they've built a software foundation with SteamOS 3 and Proton. The question is, will they stand up and lead, or will they leave the fate of the Steam machines to the hands of third-party manufacturers again? What do you think? If you were shopping for a Steam machine, would you be more inclined to go first party? Or would you just be looking at what has the best performance? Let me know in the comments below.